The sound of a tempered glass side panel exploding isn't a crack. It sounds like a bomb going off in your room. I spun around just in time to see thousands of glass shards raining down inside my custom $5,000 gaming PC rig. It was like watching a slow-motion car crash. The glass didn't just break, it atomized. 1 second, my Leon Leo 11 dynamic case was a pristine showcase of RGB glory. The next, it was a sparkling waterfall of destruction cascading onto my RTX 4090. My cousin, Tyler, 14M, was standing 5 feet away. His arm was still extended in the follow-through of a fastball pitch. An Xbox controller was lying inside the case, resting on top of my CPU cooler, wedged between the RAM sticks. Stupid game. Tyler screamed, his face red with rage. I stood there, paralyzed. My brain couldn't compute the damage. The glass shards were everywhere. They were in the fans. They were inside the PSU shroud. They were coating the backplate of a $1,600 graphics card like diamond dust. I heard the fans grinding. Gur crunch gur. The glass was being sucked into the intake fans. Turn it off. I shouted, diving for the power strip. I slammed the switch. The RGB lights died. The grinding noise stopped. The room fell into a heavy, suffocating silence. I stood up slowly. I looked at the PC. It was ruined. Even if the components survived the impact, cleaning microscopic glass dust out of a GPU heatsink is nearly impossible. One shard in a fan bearing, one short circuit from conductive debris, and it's over. Tyler, I whispered. My voice was shaking. What did you do? Tyler looked at me. He didn't look sorry. He looked defiant. The lag, he yelled, pointing at the dead monitor. It lagged. I missed the shot. Your computer sucks. My computer sucks. I walked toward him. You just threw a controller through a tempered glass panel. You destroyed my workstation. It shouldn't have broken so easily. Tyler argued, stepping back. It's glass. Why would you make a computer out of glass? That's a stupid design. It's tempered glass. I shouted. It's designed to be strong, but not when you pitch a controller at it at 90 miles an hour. My aunt Linda, Tyler's mom, came running down the hallway. She had been in the kitchen drinking coffee with my mom. What is that noise? She asked, bursting into the room. Is everyone okay? She looked at the floor. The carpet was glittering with glass. She looked at the open, jagged maw of my PC case. Oh my God, she gasped. Tyler, are you hurt? Are you bleeding? She rushed to him, checking his hands and face, completely ignoring the $5,000 disaster sitting on my desk. I'm fine, Mom, Tyler grunted, shaking her off. OP's computer broke. It cut me. He held up a finger. There was a tiny, microscopic scratch. You cut him. Linda turned on me, her eyes blazing. You have dangerous glass in your room? With a child? He's 14, Linda. I yelled. He's not a toddler. He threw a controller. He destroyed my PC. He was frustrated. Linda snapped. He has issues with emotional regulation. You know that. You shouldn't have let him play if your equipment is so fragile. Look at this mess. You need to clean this up before he steps in it. Ich zerrte her. I looked at the controller sitting inside my case, resting on the motherboard like a tombstone. Clean it up. I laughed. It was a dark, humorless sound. Linda, this computer cost $5,000. The parts inside are ruined. Glass is conductive. The fans are choked. You aren't just cleaning this up. You're buying me a new one. Buy you a new one. Linda scoffed. For a little glass? Just vacuum it out. Don't be such a drama queen. It's just a computer. Tyler, come on. Let's go. Your cousin is being mean. She grabbed Tyler's arm and started to pull him toward the door. If you leave, I said, my voice dropping to a low growl, I'm calling the police. Call the police. Linda scoffed, stopping in the hallway. Over a broken window. You are being hysterical. It's glass. OP. Sweep it up. Buy a new piece of glass for $20. Stop trying to ruin Tyler's life because you're lazy. Lazy? I stepped over the crunching carpet to face her. Linda, Do you understand how electronics work? That wasn't just a window. It shattered into millions of microshards. Those shards are currently sitting inside the fans of my graphics card. They are inside the power supply. If I turn this on, it will grind itself to death or short circuit. I pointed to the controller still resting inside the case, and he threw a half-pound brick of plastic at a motherboard. The impact alone probably cracked the PCB traces. This isn't a cleanup job. It's a salvage operation. He didn't mean to hit the computer. Linda shouted, shielding Tyler with her body. He was aiming for the wall. He just has a strong arm. He's passionate. You know, coaches say that kind of aggression is a winner's mindset. He hates losing. You should be teaching him how to channel that, not screaming at him. Channel it. Ist daher. He destroyed $5,000 of equipment because he lost a match in Call of Duty. That's not a winner's mindset. That's a tantrum. Don't you call my son a baby. Linda poked me in the chest. He is sensitive. And honestly, why do you have such a dangerous setup? Who builds a computer out of glass? It's a safety hazard. If anything, I should be suing you for creating an unsafe environment. I felt my blood pressure spiking to dangerous levels. The gaslighting was incredible. You want to sue me? I laughed bitterly. Linda, look at the desk. Look at the GPU. That big card the glass is melting on? That is an RTX 4090. I paid $1,600 for that card alone. The CPU is $600. The motherboard is $700. This isn't a Dell you buy at Best Buy. This is a precision instrument. Linda rolled her eyes. $1,600? For a computer part? You are such a liar. I bought Tyler a PlayStation for $500 and it plays all the same games. Stop making up numbers to try and scam your family. I have the receipts. I yelled. I have the invoices. You are going to pay for every single part that is damaged. I am not paying you $5,000, she shrieked. I'll buy you a vacuum cleaner. That's my offer. Vacuum it out. If it doesn't work, well, maybe you shouldn't have bought such fragile junk. Real machines don't break because of a little dust. Tyler peeked out from behind her. He wasn't crying anymore. He looked bored. Can we go? Tyler whined. I'm hungry. Yes, baby, we are going, Linda said, smoothing his hair. Your cousin is having a mental breakdown over his toys. She turned to leave. Linda, I said, my voice shaking. If you walk out that door, I am filing a civil lawsuit. I will garnish your wages. I will take your car. I am not joking. Linda turned back one last time. She looked at me with pure pity. You really need to get a life. OP suing family? Over a video game? You're pathetic. Go ahead. Sue me. The judge will laugh in your face when he hears you're crying about a broken window. She slammed the front door. I stood in the silence of my room. The smell of ozone was still faint in the air. She thought it was a joke. She thought I was bluffing. I walked over to the PC. I carefully pulled the Xbox controller out. I put it in a Ziploc bag. Evidence. I wasn't going to vacuum it. I was going to take it to the most expensive data recovery and repair specialist in the city. And I was going to get a quote that would make Linda wish she had just apologized. I didn't try to fix it myself. I knew that if I touched it, Linda would claim I broke it. I took the entire rig to the Silicon Doctor, a high-end repair shop specializing in custom loops and workstation repairs. The owner, Mike, put on gloves before he even touched the case. Glass explosion, he asked. Controller projectile, I corrected. He spent 2 hours running diagnostics. The verdict was brutal. The glass shards got everywhere, Mike said, pointing to the GPU. See here. A shard jammed the fan, but the real issue is the dust. It's conductive enough to cause shorts when mixed with thermal paste or moisture. But the killer was the impact. The controller hit the CPU cooler tower, which leveraged the socket. The motherboard traces are cracked. The GPU PCIe slot is ripped. And when you tried to power it down, the PSU tripped, but not before surging. He printed out the death certificate. Status: total loss. Salvageable parts: SSDs, data only. Replacement cost: $4,850. The invoice. I sent the invoice to Linda via certified mail. I included photos of the damage and Mike's expert testimony. She didn't call. She texted. Linda, LOL. Nice Photoshop. I'm not paying $5,000 for a box of lights. Go away. The court case. I filed in civil court. The limit in my state is $10,000, so I didn't have to go to small claims. I hired a lawyer because I wanted to make sure everything stuck. Linda showed up to the deposition looking annoyed. She brought Tyler, who was playing on a Nintendo Switch the whole time. My client, Linda's lawyer started, believes this is a frivolous suit over a toy. My lawyer placed the component boxes on the table. He placed the receipts. He placed the photos of the glass-filled heatsinks. This is not a toy, my lawyer said. This is a high-performance computer. The defendant's son threw a projectile at it. That is willful destruction of property. We went to trial. The judge was a stern woman who didn't look like a gamer, but she understood property law. Linda tried her, it was just glass defense. The judge said. If I throw a brick through your car windshield, and the brick destroys the dashboard and the engine electronics, I don't just owe you a windshield. I owe you a car. But he's a child. Linda cried. He has a winner's mindset. He has an anger management problem, the judge corrected. And you have a liability problem. The verdict. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,850, plus legal fees. Linda turned purple. I can't pay that. I have a timeshare. Then I suggest you sell it, the judge said. The aftermath. She refused to pay. I garnished her wages. It was humiliating for her. Her HR department had to process the order. Every 2 weeks, I get a check. It's been a year, and it's almost paid off. I built a new PC. It's even better. It has a mesh side panel this time, better airflow, and bounce proof. Linda tells the family I'm dead to her. She says I ruined Tyler's childhood by holding him accountable. But last I heard, Tyler broke a TV at a friend's house because he lost a game of FIFA. The friend's parents called the cops. Linda tried to blame them. It didn't work. Sometimes, tough love is the only love that works. And sometimes, you have to charge $5,000 for the lesson.